Hello, well, Positive TV are very excited and honoured to be here at House of Lords. Lord Laird has invited us here to an initiative called the Crunch Lunch, and today we're going to be listening to Edward de Bono. Edward de Bono, who you've seen on our website, is the founder of Lateral Thinking, and we've invited all sorts of organisations, groups, thinkers to this lunch to look at the issues that we really face here on Earth, and hopefully use the hats and thinking of de Bono and the de Bono Foundation to how we need to address issues in the global emergency that I think we're truly in. So come and enjoy this lunch, meet some people, look at this fantastic initiative, and we hope to take this initiative to lots of governments around the world. So come and have a look. See you soon.
We are trying to have a lunch which will be unique in the annals of the history, 800 years history of the House of Lords. We're deliberately trying to set out to be provocative and make people think. I think this year with the credit crunch is a great opportunity for society to change for the better. But to do that, we have to think differently. Now, what we're proposing to do here is we invited people along for a lovely lunch, but only 50% of them will get the lovely lunch. By the lottery of life, the other 50% will simply get a bowl of rice and a glass of water, and they think themselves lucky to get that. Now, we want to see what the dynamics of the table are at that stage. Do you give some of your lunch to the next door neighbour, and if you give it to the one on the right, do you give it to the guy on the left, or do you give it to the guy straight in front of you? And what do you talk about? Edward de Bono is one of the major lateral and positive thinkers of this generation. He has written a series of books on lateral thinking and positive thinking. He's been credited with changing minds in many parts of the world, government minds, education minds, opening people up to looking at things from a different end. It's part of the old idea that an opportunity is simply a problem looked at from a different end. And very kindly he agreed, Dr. de Bono, to come along and give the keynote speech. We're setting the tone for what I think will be the lunch fit for the crunch.
Hello, my name is Kent Walwyn and I represent Planet Matters, and we're the sponsors for the event here today at the House of Lords, and we are featuring the Edward de Bono Foundation. Planet Matters is a group of businesses that tries to conduct itself in an environmentally friendly and energy efficient manner. And we particularly are here because we have a sports academy in Sierra Leone with the Right to Dream charity and the Craig Bellamy Foundation.
My name's Louise Vernon, and our project is Right to Dream. It's based in Ghana initially, and the founder of Right to Dream is my son, Tom Vernon.
I'm Phil Baker. I'm a financial advisor. I advise sports people, mainly professional footballers. One of my main clients is Craig Bellamy. I'm a trustee on Craig's foundation out in Sierra Leone, where we're developing an academy for young footballers out there, and that's why I'm here today, is representing the academy.
Today at the House of Lords, I'm representing a new movement called World Shift 2012. It's an initiative from the Club of Budapest, founded by Dr. Irvin Laszlo. World Shift is going to be launched actually on the 9th of September 2009, which is here in the UK and elsewhere in the world our emergency number. It is going to call a declaration of a state of global emergency, but instead of just being a scare story, it is actually going to then suggest solutions to the social, environmental and economic problems that the world is facing today.
The people we have coming today, there'd be former bankers, there'd be current bankers as well, people from the education sector, people from the health sector, there'd be people from a fair number of thinking areas, let's say people who believe that they have over the years thought laterally, and I think that we want to just test them to see, we want to open their minds and test them that this is the time we've got to think differently. I'm asking Dr. de Bono to come forward and just talk to us a bit about his concepts of lateral thinking and set the scene.
If you ask someone, you said, what is the major problem facing the world today? They would probably say climate change. It is not. The major problem facing the world is the inadequacy of our thinking. while we've got thousands of people writing software for computers, we have done nothing about software for human thinking for 2,400 years. There are other aspects of thinking, perceptual, creative, design, exploratory, which do not fall into our traditional modes of thinking. Recently, one of my trainers from America told me how Ericsson had a big project, a $4 billion project they'd been discussing for 2 weeks, hadn't reached a conclusion. They invited them in, taught them the 6 hats. In an afternoon, they reached a conclusion. Statoil in Norway had a problem with an oil rig, cost them $100,000 a day till they solved it. They'd been thinking about it for 3 weeks, couldn't reach a decision. Then one of my trainers, Jens Arup, working with them, introduced the hats. In 12 minutes, they had a solution saving them $10 million. So we're looking at huge changes in human thinking using a different framework, using exploration, parallel thinking, instead of argument and attacking thinking. So what could we use instead of argument? We could use something called parallel thinking. Everyone is thinking and looking in the same direction at the same moment. There's no adversarial element at all. How do we do that? Directions are indicated by the symbol of the thinking hat. The white hat is information. Everyone's focusing on information. What do we have? What do we need? How do we get it? What questions do we want to ask? The red hat is emotions, feelings, intuition without any need to explain or justify them. The black hat is our traditional critical thinking, risks, what might go wrong, what are the problems. The yellow hat is the benefits, values, and so on. Green hat is creative ideas, alternatives, possibilities, and so on. And the blue hat is like conductor of an orchestra, keeping the discipline. That has now become very widely used.
You will see in front of you a card with either a red dot or a green dot. Whatever colour comes out first is the bowl of rice. Are we agreed? Red! And we want to see how you feel on the day when you are confronted with one of the major problems of society today, hunger.
Why didn't you take it yourself? That's very asymmetrical of you.
I have only bread on the plate. Well, this is because my card has got a red dot on it, and all of us here with the red dots, well, we get to have bread and possibly rice, and that's going to be our lunch.
There's been a bit of fiddling going on here, because when I sat down, somebody had swapped the cards. So I had a red spot, but we've now decided I should have had a green spot.
We're trying war. We're going to have a go at enslaving another table to see if we can get their goods off them. Barring that, we might actually try cooperation, but we'll see.
We had a pact before the draw was made that whatever colour came out, we were going to share whatever.
I've used a little lateral thinking here, thanks to Dr. Edward, because it dawned on me that perhaps the woman beside me, who was having a full meal, might not be turning up. But they laid it there, her full meal, and I've borrowed it. Hold on. Dr. De Bono, lateral thinking.
I've been offered food very kindly by my neighbour here, but I'm actually going to have a bowl of rice because I've never had a bowl of rice in my life on its own.